All ships at sea. This is your captain speaking. Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Beach Time Out in the heart of Times Square, you're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And a good morning, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio, episode number 198, coming to you live on a Friday, December the 24th, Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everybody. We'd like to thank all of our local sponsors, our local businesses, as we do at the start of every show. Before we get to our very special guest today, the Best Western, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Margaritas, State Insurance USA, Sun Palace Vacations, La Ola Restaurant, Tuckaway Cafe, Blue Ribbon Events, Beach Pottery, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at Beach Baptist, which is open today down at the Beach Baptist. That's the Farmers Market at the Beach Baptist. Oh, she decided to join the show today. And, of course, Beach Time Out, our longest-running sponsor, and Island Carts FMB, which is the first and exclusive sponsor to our radio station when we launch on January 1st. Stay tuned for more information on that. IslandCartsFMB.com. We're powering our new music. Oh, look at you. You got the glasses on. You think you're super cool today.
This is my Christmas present to me.
It's so nice out on the beach today. It's a lovely day on the beach.
You need your sunglasses. It's perfect.
It is
sunny,
perfect.
and the temperature is exquisite.
It's about 57 degrees.
It is not 57.
Well, it was 57 degrees this morning.
Well, that was then. What is it now? It's not 57 now.
Right. Well, we have a very special guest with us today that we're going to introduce right now, and he's so special. He brings his own chair, which is nice. Fire Chief Ron Martin is our guest today. He's been the fire chief for about 3 months now, and he's joining us on Christmas Eve.
There you go.
So we there he is right there. We need to turn him in a little bit more. Oh, look at, he's still as tall as I am with a shorter chair. Wow. Chief, thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, Ed. Thank you. Thank you to all your listeners, and thank you for the invitation to be here. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone.
Yes, happy holidays to you too, and we appreciate you coming on. And we have so much to talk about today. So let's get the first thing right out of the way. Something that we saw on TV this week was a hit piece that Wink came after the fire department about, and it talked about the overtime. And then we were talking before the show. You were explaining something that I didn't hear them report on, but I would like you to bring up first. If you didn't see the report on Wink, for some reason they were running a report about overtime. But one of the things they didn't include in that report was something that's required by mandate. Can you talk about what that is?
Well, yes, Ed. It's important for people to understand that firefighters and law enforcement officers, we typically work a little bit more than an average 40-hour work week. So federal law, the Fair Labor Standards Act, has special rules for firefighters and law enforcement officers, which partially exempt them from traditional normal overtime rules like what you typically would experience as a 40-hour worker. So, however, there is federally required a very small amount of overtime that is mandatorily required by the Fair Labor Standards Act under Special Rule 207K. So approximately $2 million or 33% of that money is required for the district to pay to all our line firefighters who work a traditional 24, 48-hour shift.
Okay, and the other thing I wanted to ask you about was the fire district has its own board. It's its own taxing district. It's different from the town council. And the board gets a financial report at every meeting that's held in the evening. I don't know how many meetings there are, but I was told by Ron Fleming, and we know Ron and we know Jackie's on the board, we've had at least 3 of the board members on the show, and they get a financial report at least once a month, right? So the board knew or knows exactly how much money is being spent on overtime?
Absolutely, that is correct. At every one of our business meetings, and there's a lot of internal reporting that goes on within the fire district because we always want to be good stewards of the financial funding that our district, our taxpayers provide to the Fort Myers Beach Fire District. So yes, internal controls, internal reviews, all the way up to the board level to our secretary treasurer is very important for us to achieve fiscal responsibility as well as transparency with all of the constituents and taxpayers in the district. So that's very important to me as the fire chief, and I can assure you it is very important to our board of fire commissioners.
Right, and you sat for an interview with Wink, and it didn't seem like they even mentioned that the board did know that there was overtime being spent, which I thought was an interesting part of the report that was missing. So the other thing is, obviously Wink is not coming down to Fort Myers Beach to try and investigate different things. They hardly ever come down here. So somebody is disgruntled about something, and somebody seems to have something stuck in their craw about something at the fire department. Anything that you want to say about the complainer, or is it a group of complainers? Is it one person that just wants to stick it to you and love? What do you think it is?
You know, Ed, I honestly, it's the inherent right of every citizen and taxpayer to question their government, and questions come up, whether they're factual or not factual, come up, and it's just part of working in the public sector and in the government. So we always have good data. We always strive to make every decision justifiable based on data and based on this community's best interest and safety and health and well-being. So even though it's sometimes discouraging, it's every citizen's right to be engaged with their government.
Now, getting back to what you were talking about before, the actual thing. I wanted to dive in a little bit. Is part of the overtime, you mentioned the federal law thing, is part of it because there are openings that need to be filled, and how difficult is that to do?
Well, yes, we do have numerous openings that have occurred for various reasons, resignations, retirements, and just growth within the department. And like every other industry, every other business, you see the amount of job openings out there,
right?
And help wanted signs. The pandemic impedes recruitment a little bit, and also, you know, the job market, there's not a whole lot out there in the job market. A lot of people are reevaluating public service, health, going into healthcare, following the pandemic. So we're actively recruiting for several positions in the district, but we are also not a hasty employer. And what I mean by that is this community, our citizens, deserve the very best. We have 3 new firefighters that are just joining us, just finished orientation, and they represent the very best. Out of a candidate pool of about 50, we selected 3 because our standards and our commitment to the highest level of compassionate service through dedicated, caring professionals is our absolute priority.
Public safety is one of those things too, where I think that if you have to spend overtime on it, the taxpayers aren't good. It's not like you're buying a boat for yourself, or you know, you're doing something illegal with the money. It's being spent on the public safety, and it's being spent when it's needed. Is that correct, or am I making that up?
No, you are correct. You know, public safety, police, and fire is a personnel-driven industry, and it's a labor-driven industry. So overtime, as I stated in the Wink interview, is absolutely a justifiable expense and use of taxpayers' funds to ensure the level of service that our community demands and expects and you know, deserves. So, you know, the other important thing is, you know, firefighters in particular. I'll talk about, you know, firefighters because that's what we are. You know, with rare exceptions, overtime, while every employee enjoys a little bit of overtime for us means another 24-hour shift, another 24-hour shift away from your family. And while, you know, we may not fight raging infernos every day or respond to major incidents, when we aren't doing that, we're preparing for those incidents. So our people are training and they're drilling, and then they're maintaining our apparatus and our facilities to safeguard the community's investment in their fire district. And so they're very active, and an overtime shift for the most part means 24 hours away from their family. And when we are short staffed, sometimes that relates to it's forced 24-hour shift. It's not a voluntary 24-hour shift, so we can maintain a certain level of service to our community.
I just wanted to ask too, I listened to the report, and I didn't dive into it deeply, but when they were comparing the Fort Myers Beach area to Fort Myers and Cape Coral, and they talked about the area that's covered, and kind of were making a comparison that this area that's covered on the beach is smaller. But what I didn't hear, and I don't know how, you know, important it is the density of what, you know, the area is one thing metric to look at, but the density of that area can also really impact how many calls that you might go out on, and then the seasonality of things. I mean, in season, there's a bazillion people down here. So I'm imagining that would factor in too, to further give more data and explanation as to those numbers. Yes, no?
You know, I think you're onto something, Kim. Obviously, I don't know the matrices that they use to compare one of the smaller fire districts to 2 of the larger, more large municipalities. So I don't understand. I'm not privy to the data or the evaluations, but you know, the other thing though, a couple of the nuances for the Fort Myers Beach Fire District is, remember, we also provide ambulance transport to our community. So while all fire districts have some level of EMS response, being that we transport means that we have longer patient contact times. So our people are with a sick person in the back of an ambulance, closed environment. We're taking all of the appropriate COVID precautions, like you saw me bringing my mask over here. But that prolonged exposure also drives a little bit of sick time use, because you got people who are taking care of sick people in a confined space. So that also makes some of our sick time usage a little bit different, because we have a greater and prolonged exposure time to really sick people sometimes.
And the other thing that I heard, and you don't have to comment on this, but just to throw it out there, one of the things I heard from a fire commissioner was that you were at least going to be given a heads up that the report was going to be airing. It just happens to be a coincidence that it aired during the week that we were going to have you on, and they never followed through on giving you at least the heads up so you knew it was running, which I think it's just the way things go with a lot of the press out there. They tell you one thing so they can get the story, and then they don't follow through on it, and in the end, you're kind of surprised at what happened. You don't have to comment on that if you don't want to.
Well, Ed, what I will comment on is, even though, our relationships with our local journalists and our local media partners, it's something that has to be worked on. And you guys are an extension of public safety. I truly believe that. I believe that my whole career. You help us get critical information out. And like any relationship or any partnership, it takes work. So, I'm always willing to work, and I welcome the opportunity to work with our media partners, because you guys, your industry does a very important job to get critical information to our community, especially when we're under least than ideal conditions like hurricanes or major events. So I really have a lot of respect for our local journalists and our local media partners. So that's what I'll say.
He means that mostly for us. Just
so
that 3 months
into
what? Yeah, 3 months on the job. How is it going?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this is I consider it a blessing, from a kid from the south suburbs of Chicago. I mean, I get to be the fire chief in this beautiful, look at how
Crazy.
Beautiful it
So
is
nice
here.
out.
I'm doing a job that I do, that I absolutely love, in a community that people spend thousands of dollars to come down from all over the world to spend a weekend. And I'm the fire chief here.
Right.
It's phenomenal. And I'm leading a great team. I've got some great internal labor partners. So I'm enjoying the job.
Now, the main reason you wanted to come down was to talk about safety.
Speaking of public
Yeah,
safety,
yeah. Yes.
that is what you really were scheduled to come down and talk about. So,
well, thank you for the opportunity. Well, as my media piece this month said, December is Impaired Driver Awareness Month. Okay, and that's a very important thing for Fort Myers Beach. For me personally, being a public safety professional with nearly 30 years in, December is traditionally a bad month across the country. About 890 people die from impaired drivers or drunk driving in the month of December. About 50% of those will occur December 24th through December 31st. And sadly, national averages tell us that on Christmas Day, of all days, 30 to 40 people will lose their life due to impaired driving. So I just wanted to come out and talk to the community and remind the community the importance of, if you're going out December 24th, Christmas Eve, this is the day of holiday parties in offices, at workplaces, have a plan, remember your family. If you're a host of a party, have some responsible non-alcoholic options for your attendees, and have a plan on how to get home safely. We got Christmas Eve, we got Christmas Day, then we got New Year's Eve. Those are big days in our community. We just want everybody to go home and be safe after their events and keep everybody healthy and safe.
One of the things when we were leaving the bike parade last weekend, we saw a motorcycle accident on Summerlin down by the airport, and
down by the hospital.
I'm sorry, the hospital. And what was the first thing you said?
I just, so close to the holidays, and when you see a motorcycle that's by itself, and the road was blocked off, which means to me it was a very serious incident, and that someone might have lost their life. And my first thought was that poor family, to get that kind of news at any time, but especially around the holidays, is just devastating.
Absolutely. And we're dealing with various factors. There was a recent news story about how there's more aggressive driving, in the post-pandemic world. And you couple that with distracted drivers.
Right.
We've got people who are distracted with their cell phones. We have people, technology has evolved so much that we have people who never were able to drive before with assistive technology that are out driving, the disabled population, and then we have the folks who are drugged either legally or illegally, which
Right.
can impair your ability to operate a motor vehicle, a bicycle or moped or motorcycle.
Right.
Then you got people who are intoxicated.
Right.
And then sometimes you just have people who are dumb and do dumb things, so but you make a good point. My message
Thank you.
my message is, think of your families, think of your loved ones, think of your friends, and also think of our firefighters and our healthcare professionals, because those are human beings behind the scrubs, behind the badges. And when they have to see those horrible things on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, that's something they carry with them for the rest of their life. So please do the responsible thing and have a plan to get home.
What about?
And I just think you make a good point that impaired driving encompasses more than just alcohol and illegal or illicit drugs. It could be cold medicine. I mean, or you could just be really flippin' tired from shopping. And so you have to sort of do a check of, hey,
tired from shopping
and
I tell you what, I was shopping yesterday
and all of that stuff. So let me make
there
my
was a
point.
line outside.
Let me make my point. And so really to consider that, and the other point you made too, which when your nerves are frazzled, you don't drive, you drive a little, you get upset. And really, this is the time to use those defensive driving techniques that we all learned. Like if you see somebody, just avoid them, just stay in your lane, get home safely.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Road rage is bad. My friends in green, the deputies will come and see you. So just, wear your seatbelts. Take a breath. We know we've got an influx of population this time of year. Traffic's going to be bad. Lines are going to be long. Just take a breath. Get home safely. That's what I want as your fire chief. That's what every public safety professional and healthcare worker that's going to be working this holiday ultimately wants. People to have a safe, fun holiday.
We have a road rage story we're going to tell, but after your segment, it's amusing, kind of amusing. But what about boating? What about boating safety?
Boating while you're impaired is probably a bad thing. Can result in really big tragedies, and it's just not motor vehicles that I'm talking about. If you're heavily impaired due to substances, if you're riding a bicycle, you should probably shouldn't ride a bicycle because you could crack your head open and have a pretty serious injury. Mopeds, we've seen a little uptick in moped related accidents, people getting clipped going into cross streets or going across cross streets. So people just need to be vigilant and drive with due regard.
Now you say
golf carts.
You say moped. Really, what you're talking about is the motorized bikes.
Yeah,
right?
motorized bikes,
because
things. Yeah.
Does anyone really still have a moped? And don't you think that motorized bikes should be outlawed? Like if you can't ride a bike, I'm not talking about people that need help. Like I'm talking about people that are healthy that could ride a bike.
Why does that stick in your craw so much?
I just think that bikes should be bikes and cars should be cars and motorcycles are motorcycles.
Not like that. There are gray areas.
To have a motor on your
bike. You know what?
People
can have whatever they want that's available. It's legal.
Why don't we get the chief's opinion?
I'll tell you what, Ed. I'll leave that to the experts about bikes and my colleagues over in law enforcement. I never really put much thought into whether or not they should be legal.
We're not talking about law enforcement. We're talking about people being lazy. Like, why, if you're getting on a bike, ride the bike, right? Terry rides a bike. Clearly, she'd love a motor on her bike, right? No, see, she wants to ride. Now, there's a guy that rides around on Fort Myers Beach. He has one leg. If he had a motor on his bike, I would say, okay, that makes sense. But he freaking rides his bike like there's no tomorrow. He's probably got gigantic thighs on one, obviously on one side. No, you think? Not on the, all right. Chief, don't worry about it. You don't need to say anything.
I think they're kind of cool, to tell you the truth.
I know.
Yeah, I think they're kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
So what? We can't do skateboards? You can't do...
skateboards are different. Well, you put a motor on a skateboard. What do you think? There probably
are
some,
have those
right?
things. Yeah, yeah.
All righty. So can you get an Uber down on this beach? I mean, do they come down here?
Oh,
If-
yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Are they- I would-
Uber, Lyft,
Yeah.
all those.
Cool.
Yeah,
They have a
rideshare
taxi
programs.
and they have taxis.
Taxis, and then we have the trolley, and we have the tram,
Yeah.
and we have all kinds of things thanks to the town and town's partnership with Lee County Transportation. So we have a lot of different options.
Now the what was I going to say? Oh, the guys. Is it all guys in the fire department, or are there some ladies too?
Oh no, we are a very diverse district. So we have men, women, we have people from all types of backgrounds.
Okay.
And
Now, do they you have extra people on the holidays that are working just in case, or is it a normal shift?
no, it's
or
a
they're on
normal
call?
it's a normal shift typically. New Year's Eve fireworks, we bring in some of our specially trained fire inspectors who will be working to ensure safety of the pyrotechnic show. So they're typically in here for that component of New Year's Eve.
Somebody just called me an electric bike racist. I think
You
that's going
are.
a little too far. I think that is a little too much. Now,
You are biased.
New Year's Eve is coming up too, another alcohol-fueled holiday
Yep.
with pyrotechnics involved. So I imagine that you have some issues that you have to deal with then too.
Well, it's always an increased risk. Just remember, if you're doing your own home fireworks show, make sure you start the day with 10 digits and you end the day with 10 digits.
And by the way, fireworks at your own house on the beach are illegal, I believe, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Although that probably doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. So now the last time we did the fireworks, there was a lot of extra law enforcement on the beach. Do you think that's going to be the same thing this year with the fireworks?
I believe so,
Yeah.
but I can't comment,
Yeah.
obviously.
So what do you do for the holidays? You need
Well,
some water? Do you want some water? Are you okay?
No,
Or-
that heater's blowing right down on me and driving
See,
me out.
What happens when I get here in the morning is the ladies that work here, they're from Florida, so it's 55, so it's cold.
Yeah.
I put an out of order sign on the heater thinking they wouldn't turn it on, and obviously they disobeyed the out of order sign, so the heater is on and it's too hot. So
It's warm, but then the other thing too is we're not in a high humidity
Right,
state
right.
either. So I know, because I woke up this morning and I was like, ooh, a little dry.
Yeah, a little dry.
so what were we talking about?
What I do for the holidays.
Oh yeah.
Well, we typically celebrate on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve evening, my kids will be all over at the house, big meal. Christmas morning is kind of a, smaller, intimate, Christmas morning breakfast type thing. So we keep it small, and there's going to be a lot of food. So I might pack on a couple pounds over the next couple days. But
The diet starts tomorrow, not today.
diet
So
starts
today
tomorrow?
off.
Okay.
Diet starts tomorrow.
Okay.
So.
Tomorrow.
No. I'm kidding. So did we miss anything, Chief?
No,
You
I
wanna-
think you covered everything, and I always appreciate the opportunities to come here and
You're
talk
awesome,
with
man.
you and Kim. I really do.
And if you're looking for a job at the fire department, how do they apply? I mean, what do they need to do? Because you
Well-
have how many openings do you have?
Right now, I believe off the top of my head, we got 12 openings.
No
in various,
way.
yeah, in
Wow.
various different positions.
Holy moly.
Okay,
I didn't
that's
know
not
that many.
just.
Yeah, it's just not firefighters. We're recruiting a chief officer. We're recruiting, information technology. And that's off the top of my head. I obviously don't have my
Right,
spreadsheets
right.
with me, but any of our job postings or job opportunities are posted on the district's website, www.fmbfire.org.
And do you carry your spreadsheets around with you a lot, or?
No, not today. But typically I have my little attaché case and my computer and my little
Wow.
mobile office
It
workout.
sounds like a lot of fun at a
Yeah.
party.
Oh,
You show up
I-
to a party with.
I could generate an Excel graph for you with the best of them.
Now, do you?
Did you forget?
No. So people have to have a certain type of background and training, and I'm guessing degrees or of some sort to apply. You can't just go on the website
Right.
if you're the average person and apply for a job, right? What do you need to have to at least
What are
apply
the
for it?
qualifications?
Yeah, thank you.
So in the state of Florida, to be a firefighter, you have to be at least 18 years old. You have to have a high school diploma, and you have to be complete Florida's
You're messing them all up.
minimum fire standards training, which is the State Fire Academy. And on top of that, for Fort Myers Beach, we try to recruit firefighter paramedics, which is an additional year or 2 years of training on top of that minimum standards qualification. So people are typically coming in with at least 3 years of education under their belt for our entry-level positions.
When there's a call, let's say there's a call at Bowditch Beach. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And you guys are obviously
Footage.
the new. Well, I do want to ask you about the new facility too. But your facility now is a little bit further down from where the new one's going to be, and then you have a station over on the other side of the
Yes.
bridge. When it's in full season, like, and there are cars everywhere, like it's a parking lot, and you get a call to Bowditch Beach, how the hell do you get around everybody?
Well, believe it or not, Ed, we spend a lot of time training our driver operators, and we get through and we see historically minimal impacts to service delivery
No
during
kidding.
season. We have some of the best drivers that drive that big apparatus in our ambulances that you will ever see. And they are very skilled at safely navigating our roadways here on the island.
And you
It's
also,
like threading a needle.
Yes,
though.
it is.
and people, I'm
that,
sure, getting out of the way, trying to get
Well,
out
as
of the
best
way,
they
trying
can.
to
I
get
mean,
on
yeah.
then
Yeah.
they're trying to get on close to the sidewalk, but then you got to watch for bikers. And
Absolutely.
And it's just now, and you also have sand vehicles you can
yes,
ride,
we
right?
have alternative response vehicles like our beach rescue vehicles that we can get on. So we have a lot of skilled people who operate these vehicles, and we have a lot of tools that are resources.
Now let's go ahead.
I just wanted to make a point of clarification. If there's an issue in the water, that's not under your jurisdiction until they get somebody on land. How does that work?
We have a regional partnership through the Marine Emergency Response Team, which is our neighboring fire districts who have vehicles, water vessels out every day. And we also have a historically wonderful partnership with the U.S. Coast Guard.
Okay.
So they will typically either take some of our people with them and bring them to shore so we can establish treatment out on the water and bring them in. We have a great relationship with all those entities.
And give us an update on the new facility.
Well, my assistant chief Scott Worth is our project executive overseeing that project. He has been busy meeting with our design team, our general contractor, our design professionals who are going to do the site plan development for us. We just completed our spatial analysis of the facility and waiting for that data. And probably in the next 2 to 3 months, we'll probably have some type of a concept
Nice.
that we can share.
Nice. Now, I want to make sure I don't forget this. You work with, I know the Shamrock was involved. You do something every year for kids with bicycles. Can you kind of explain what you do to help the kids that need bicycles?
Absolutely.
I'm looking at our friend Christy
Oh, was
over
that
there.
Christy over there?
Down
So,
You can recognize the dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've had a decades-long relationship with the Beach Kids Foundation.
Okay.
And on top of that, our firefighters union has also had that relationship. So every year we work together. Firefighters do, help out in the community to raise funds. Raise funds and do toy drives throughout, working with various vendors. And then on Christmas Eve, or during the Christmas season, I'm sorry, not Christmas Eve, during the Christmas season, at some point, we all get together and get a fire truck, and we give Santa a ride throughout the district to bring some Christmas joy to some children.
Tonight you'll be
not tonight, not Christmas Eve. Sometimes during the Christmas season,
I
we
see.
just did it last Tuesday.
Oh, how did it go?
It went very well.
So
very
do
well.
you stay on the beach, or you find different areas?
It's typically on the beach,
Nice.
and a little bit on San Carlos Island.
Nice, very cool.
Yep.
And there's your Kim wanted to get you some
thank
water
Oh.
there. Thank you. Thank you, dear, for doing that. You're so observant. 30 minutes late, but
no.
it's the heater. I know it's the
it
heater.
is. Like, wow.
He doesn't
It
have
is.
COVID,
And
everybody.
now-
It's the heater that's blowing
you saw
down
me
on him.
Come with my mask, and I've been tested 3 different times.
Are you worried at all about the next phase of this COVID deal?
As a public safety professional, absolutely I am. We're also seeing, along with the COVID variant, we're seeing an increase in influenza A and influenza B. So, and we know we have a vulnerable population, medical population here on the island. So I'm always concerned about it. I'm always monitoring that data as well as our team. So, I'm obviously concerned.
Has there been an uptick in, ambulance calls and transfers for anything that would be similar to that? I mean, I know you can't really know when you're picking people up, but difficulty breathing.
We started seeing a small uptick. Locally, our positivity rate has gone up slightly, so that's why I'm walking around with a mask in my pocket and everything else. So we monitor that very closely.
So let me ask a medical question, being that you're the expert. So when you see people in Florida in the car by themselves with a mask on and the windows closed, what is that really protecting them from?
Maybe they just delivered somebody who was symptomatic with COVID and they're wanting to make sure the virus is out of their car.
Great answer.
There you go. There you go. The other thing too is, sometimes people, you put it on and you get used to it. And then I think
that's
people
a problem.
forget.
Getting used to it.
People forget it's on. And
it almost looks like our show is sponsored by Michelob Ultra today for some reason. We have to figure out how to get rid of that because they're not paying a dime to be on this show. So, Chief, did we miss anything? It's so awesome to have you on. We don't want to let you go, but you seem like you really need to get some water or something.
Well, the water helped.
Yeah.
We
should have switched. We should have switched seats.
But I'll tell you, I really appreciate being here.
He's got to get out of here.
All right.
Chief Ron Martin, everybody. Thank you very much, Chief. And we appreciate you. You almost killed the chief with the damn heater on here. We tried to shut it off and everything. Now look.
She was saying how he was right underneath it. So
all right. So
fire chief underneath the heater. There's some sort of analogy there.
He's gonna write some kind of violation for that for that heater. So I'm gonna let you lead off with this, being that you didn't really take good care of them last week. So take care of them now.
I know. I feel so bad. Hey, folks, here is a great idea for your holiday weekend coming up. Fort Myers Tiki Tours. You get to go out for an hour and a half on this cute little tiki boat, seat 6 people. They supply a captain. They also supply the cooler and ice. You just bring yourself and snacks and whatever you want to drink, and you will take a leisurely ride down through the waterways, the calm waterways, and it goes slow. No one's going to get fallen off. They have lots of safety precautions in place for that. So give them a call at 239-887-0042. Get out there. It's healthy to be outside. You can have a good time, relax, blow off a little steam, get together with your friends and family, get your pictures taken. So give them a call, 239-887-0042.
All right, everybody, I want to tell you about Friends of the Arts. They have a super fantastic show coming up, The Girls of Motown. And I'm going to pop up the picture of the Girls of Motown so you can see what's going on. There we go. It's the Friends of the Art. I wanted you to make sure you thank the chief for coming on. Nobody got a picture of it or anything. Can you make sure you get a picture of at least the chief and my wife standing together on her phone right there? Because I need to tell everybody that they need to get set for January the 13th, which is the Girls of Motown. There you see them right there. 7 o'clock. It's going to be at Salty Sam's. And it's one of the many concerts that they have for the Friends of the Arts that are going on in February and March and on and on and on. But the Girls of Motown really kick some butt. They're sophisticated, they're talented, they're dynamic, and they are fun. Those are just a few of the words that describe the Girls of Motown. They're veteran musicians down in Naples, and they are skillful vocalists. And we want you to go to the show on January 13th, 7 o'clock. You can go to the website, fmbarts.org, and you click on events, and then you buy the tickets. And I still believe that they have the boxes where you can get like a box of 10 tickets, and so you can kind of set yourself apart from somebody that that either you don't like or you don't want to be sitting by, or maybe you think they have COVID, or you like to be in a box with 10 people that wear masks, or whatever the reason is. Just go down and check them out. It's going to be great entertainment. And thanks a lot, Chief. Happy Christmas, Merry New Year, and we'll see you again soon. Chief Ron Martin, everybody. We appreciate him. We got a couple stories that we need to tell you before our special surprise guest shows up. But of course, Beach Pottery is one of our sponsors. When I rode by Beach Pottery this morning, they had the coolest looking Christmas lights in the dark because, I get here so early in the dark. And before I tell you about Beach Pottery, I need to tell you this story. Like, I went to the gym this morning at 4:30, and I wore my favorite pair of workout shorts. The only problem with my favorite pair of workout shorts is it's got a hole right, in
a bad spot.
In a bad spot. But I thought, I'm going to go to the gym at 4:30. Nobody's ever there at 4:30, so what's the big deal?
I'll get it.
But the problem was today's not Saturday, it's Friday, and there were a lot of people there. So I was like,
a lot of people have the day off.
Right. It's not only the day off, but some people working and they're still going through their regular routine of going to the gym early. So now I'm like all kinds of conscious that the hole in my shorts is showing that something shouldn't be showing. And so I'm, now I'm working out like this. I'm working out with my hand down. If I bend over to pick up some weights, I was doing a little curtsy to pick up the weights, because then now there were even girls in the gym. And when I go, or ladies, and when I go to the gym on Saturday morning,
women
at that time,
females?
There's nobody there. So, I could have just opened my legs up and do that machine where, you do the
right inner outer.
Yeah, I never do that machine. That's really a girl machine. No guy should really do that machine. But anyway, so I tried to stay away from people at the gym this morning because of that.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
And so I told a story to the ladies or the women that work here, and they're like, well, why don't you just sew the pants shut? And I'm like, these workout pants are like 15, 20 years old. I don't really want, you could wash them 5 times and they would still probably stand up on their own. But I love them. Sometimes you find a piece of clothing or something that you really like to wear, and you wear it until,
right. So
it stinks.
I feel like you wear the same stuff, the same 10 items over and over again.
I think you're probably right.
Yet you have a dresser and you have 2 or 3 laundry baskets that are continuously full of items.
I don't know if that's true.
Wear. Oh, it is true.
How many
sweatshirts do you think you have?
I have probably 30 sweatshirts.
And how many do you wear? 2?
A couple. I mean,
listen,
why
minimalize.
Do you pick Christmas Eve to be so mean to me?
I'm not being mean. I'm just
All
pointing out
so
a fact.
I'm going to tell you this story. So she says to me, she being the wife here, she says, let's not go overboard on Christmas this year. Let's just, get a couple gifts here. Let's not make it a big deal, because one year I bought her a car. The next year I bought her a house, and I bought her an island, and I think one year I bought her a plane. I mean, so sometimes it gets a little crazy, but I did buy the car or plane tickets to go see your mammy. And so I'm like, okay, well, this year, let's just save some money and work on the house and the whole thing. And then all of a sudden a truck backs up into the driveway, and I hear that, the truck is so big that you hear the beeping sound of the truck backing up. And I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? She's like, no, so you have to stay in there. You have to stay in there. I'm like, you go against what you said we were supposed to do, not buy gifts. So now there's this, you can't fit the car in the garage now because whatever gift you bought, it has tarpaulin over it, and you can't see what the box is. So why did you say that and then go against what the rule was supposed to be?
Let me say that your timing was exquisite because you were in the bathroom, and usually when you're in there for a while. And so the driver had called me and said, I'm a few minutes out. And I was like, oh, can you drive a little slower? Because he's in the bathroom, and the window in the bathroom you can see, and I don't want him to see, and blah, blah, blah. So they were kind of slow rolling as they came up. And then as soon as you walked out,
you're totally changing the subject. It was supposed to be a year
just because it's a big box that had to be delivered in a big truck doesn't mean it's an expensive
It's not a
gift.
big truck. It was one of those trucks where it's so big that when they back up, they have to have that beeping sound, that beeping sound that would wake up the dead. Back into the garage, and then I had to park my vehicle next door because the truck was that big. So why? No, the question is, why did you tell me that I couldn't buy you a plane when you were going to buy this gigantic, maybe I was going to buy a new car or something?
Again, I would say that just because it's a big box doesn't mean it's an expensive gift.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because you're going to buy a cheap gift in a big truck like that and have it delivered.
I'm trying to throw you off.
All right. Well, I'm going to have you read about the beach pottery. I think you know why.
I didn't bring my glass. Oh, wait. Yes, I did.
Good luck reading it.
All right. Beach pot. I thought you were going to go to the bathroom before. Here we go again. And when you come back, you have to tell your road story. You got to stay for this one, folks, because that story is something. All right, Beach Pottery, 17980 San Carlos Boulevard. You can't miss it. If you're coming down to the beach, it'll be on your right. You'll see all the pots out there, and that is just a little microcosm of what you're going to find deep behind that building, because that lot opens up and is huge what they have back there. And they don't just have pots, although they have a lot of pots in all shapes, sizes, colors, designs, everything to fit your design aesthetic. They also have custom ones. You can get your name on it. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. They also have now inside, I think they have jewelry and food and coffee. And didn't they I think he said something about other beverages as well. So lots to see down there. And they have amazing outdoor furniture, which lasts, I think the warranty is 20 years. Comes in a variety of colors. It's really, really cute. It's very nice. All right, so now they have extended hours from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. Oh, the cafe is now open. See, I told you. Hot and cold espresso drinks, smoothies, love a good smoothie, breakfast sandwiches, and a daily selection of baked goods, including muffins, cookies, cake pops, and more. And they have fun new Christmas lights. So please stop by and see them on San Carlos Boulevard, whether you're on your way down or you're on your way home. Or you could give them a call at 437-4211 and ask them any question that you have. Thank you and welcome back.
All right. Well, we're kind of killing a little time here. We have something planned that we're trying to organize while we're on the show.
That's right.
And so that's kind of delaying things.
Tell the story from last night with our friend Marie and her husband.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, this is kind of, I'm not real happy about my performance during this story. But,
your behavior.
So listen, every Friday I like to go to the Walmart early in the morning. Like they used to be open 24 hours a day. When they were open 24 hours a day, I would go at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock because you don't want to be like, I was at Walmart yesterday at 7 o'clock. And as I'm leaving Walmart yesterday at 7 o'clock, there was a guy like he had his hand, the guy walking into Walmart. Look at, he had his hand like he was pulling his underwear up. He had his hand like, and I'm just looking at myself. Okay, I'm at Walmart. So I like to go before those people get to the Walmart. So
don't touch me with that hand now.
So I took a shower at the gym. So I go to the Walmart. Now you have to go. It doesn't open until 6. It was 7, but they backed it up till 6.
Okay, are you going to get to your story instead of reviewing the hours of Walmart?
People listen to the show because of my stories, okay? And then you interrupt my stories, and then you make me lose my place.
They take a nap, and they wake up, and the story's still going.
So one Friday morning, now our neighborhood in Gateway is 35. It's 35 miles an hour from one end of Gateway Boulevard to the other.
Okay.
So I am riding the speed limit.
As you do.
I drive the speed limit. I don't want to get pulled over for any reason. Like I don't want to get a ticket for no reason.
You are the person that's going the exact speed limit in the farthest left lane. Just so you know, folks, when you're on I-75, it's him. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm riding the speed limit. Now somebody pulls out of one of the neighborhoods and they get right on my ass. They are right, like the guy is right on my ass. Like you can't even see his lights because he's so far up. Now I'm getting ticked off. Like there's no reason at 5 minutes to 6 in the morning that you're riding so close to me. My blood is starting to boil. Now, guys, this is a guy thing. It's mostly a guy thing. I don't think it's a woman thing. I mean, guys are idiots when it comes to things like this. So now you pull out onto 82, and now we're in the there's there's 3 lanes. I have room to maneuver because in Gateway Boulevard there's only 1 lane. There's nothing you can do. So now I get out of the way. He gets to the left. Now I get right on his butt. Now I flick my brights on. I'm hitting the horn, and I'm getting right on top of him. So he stopped short, and I almost hit him. So now he gets up to the traffic light, and I'm flicking my lights on. I'm flicking my brights on, and now we make a left on Colonial, and we're trying to figure out what to do. I mean, we're
You're
gonna
jockeying
right.
back and
Am I gonna
forth.
bump into him, or is he gonna bump into me? So then I'm in the left lane, he's in the middle lane, and he rolls down his window, and I roll down my window, and we knew each other. We knew each other, and it was like he's like, "Fucking Ed," he says the F word, and I'm like, I had that look on my face, like, holy crap! Now what do we do?
So embarrassing. You two. You two. And these are good friends of ours.
No, I didn't know what he drove, and he didn't know what I drove. And then when you look
so last night we went out with just his wife, and this ding dong confesses his story to her, and she felt the same way, that you two were both acting foolish.
I thought maybe he didn't recognize me, or I certainly wasn't 100% sure it was him because I'm
you didn't
half
know
blind.
until last night.
So I'm like, I told you as soon as I got home, I think I just got into a road rage incident with somebody we know, like, and we've been friends for 100 years, and he obviously knew, and nobody said anything until last night. So that was an interesting. I don't know what possesses me or guys to do that stuff. It's just so stupid. It's like, why was he tailing me for no reason? And then why couldn't I just let it go when we made the turn at the light?
You need to just let it go. I think the thing is,
you know what I said last night? You know why? Because you feel like you're depantsed. Like you feel like that if that guy pulls out and he makes a left-hand turn and you just let him go, then he got away with it.
Is your ego that sensitive?
So
are you that shallow?
It's so stupid. It's like what you feel like that if he speeds away, he's laughing at you, and so you can't just let it go. You have to at least exact some kind of revenge. It's kind of like a man thing.
This is insight into your psyche that none of us really should have been privy to.
If you think it's just my psyche,
here's the thing that I think happened. You're going 35. Yes, that is the speed limit, sir. But nobody goes 35 on that road. They go 37. They go 38. They might even go 40. They probably shouldn't go 45. And so I'm sure he was like, dude, there's no one on the road. Giddy up. He had places to go. So I don't know. I get it, because you drive slow, and I'll bet you let I bet you let it dip down to 34 or 33.
No, I don't do that. No. So those of you that are watching, what you can see is what we had planned today. There's supposed to be a somebody that we've kind of found, and we have a delivery that's being made. As you can see here, we have a bike that we were planning to pass off to somebody. We don't know if they weren't able to find where we are. Obviously, sometimes.
Have you gotten any?
I've been texting while we've been on the show to try and see where he is, because we wanted to deliver the bike. We have Santa coming down with the bike from Times Square, and so we were going to try and make that happen on the show. But, on live radio or live Facebook or live YouTube, sometimes things don't work out. And you can only tell Santa to pause for so long before everybody wants to take their picture with Santa. So what you're watching is
he's extremely busy.
Yeah, he's on his way down. And see, now he's going to stop and take a few pictures. Who is he taking pictures with? Is that
Megan?
No, that's
Jan.
Jan Fleming's over there with the dog in the
Jan's
basket.
Husband, the dog in the basket is adorable.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna have any road rage incidents with Santa Claus when he comes over. So that was what our plan was today.
That was your plan.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it.
It's always nice to have Santa show up. Did you read all the ads that we're supposed to read? Are we all caught up on the ads?
I'm doing all the work today. I read the Beach Pottery one, and I read the Tiki Tours one.
Right. And folks, for those of you that are new to the show or that don't know what we're planning, we are planning to launch our music radio station in, what is it? It's like 1 week. Yeah, 1 week from today, when we're live next door on the roof for the fireworks. We're going to tell everybody how they can listen. We have almost 300 songs, which is super cool. We have almost 300 songs. So if you still have a song recommendation, you can send it in.
We're still arguing about that on and on and on and on. Oh, look at Santa's getting lots of pictures with kids.
Let me turn the picture around so everybody, they'd rather see Santa.
Yeah, for sure. But
We're also collecting information for. Oh, look at Santa's drawing a crowd now.
Yep.
We're also collecting information for a community calendar. So if you have events that are coming up in January, February, or March, we're going to be recording the community calendar. So I think you need to go say hello to our friends from Michigan. We have some folks that were visiting from Michigan that stopped by and they love the show. And so Kim's going to go over and say hi to them. So you can send your recommendations for songs. You can send your information about events. We're also going to be obviously doing the weather, different things like that. And we'll tell you, we're trying to make it as super easy as possible to listen to the station. Obviously, we're going to have it on an app. We're trying to get it on iHeart. We're trying to get it on Alexa. We're so close to getting it on Alexa so that when you walk into your house, all you have to do is say play Beach Talk Radio on Alexa. So stay tuned for that. We should know it all by New Year's Eve, and of course, the fireworks celebration is next week, and it's Friday night. We're going to be broadcasting live from 11 o'clock until 12 o'clock. So you can watch the fireworks wherever you are. If you're staying home in Michigan or Ohio or wherever the state is that you watch the show, you'll be able to watch the fireworks. And there's Santa just walked past the camera.
Well, when Santa comes on, I'll let you do that interview.
Yeah, Santa's okay to. It's okay to speak to Santa, right? Not,
yeah.
There's
You
some
can
other
speak to him.
superheroes that come on the show.
Does he need directions to come on in? Here he comes.
Yeah, we'll have him come on in and have him bring the bike in, and we'll just set the bike aside. But here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. All righty, you can leave that right there, Santa.
Well, you can leave it right over here.
It's not in the way. Very nice of Santa to come down. And he's going to come on in and say a few words. Yeah, if you can move that chair out of the way, dear, that'd be great. All right, here comes Santa Claus. Do you want to come on the show, Santa, and say a few words to let all the kids out there know how things are going? Here you go, Santa. Santa, how are you doing?
Good. I see I found the naughty list.
Very funny. So you came all the way down Times Square. We caught you on the picture, on the camera. Do you get a lot of people that want to take pictures with Santa and stop and do some selfies and all that?
Yeah, there's a few. There's a couple. The kids seem to enjoy it.
Now, Santa, you're used to the North Pole where the temperature is a lot cooler than it is, but what's it like to be down here in Florida during the holidays?
Well, the sand is beautiful. White is white.
Yeah.
I'll take the white sand this time of year.
Yeah, instead of the snow. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I get enough of that every year.
Now, are all the toys packed and the presents ready to roll for later tonight?
Yep. The reindeer are getting fed as we speak.
Nice. Very nice.
They're dusting off the sleigh, oiling up the rails.
Now, I don't usually try and throw our guests a curveball or anything like that, but do you have any idea like what the top requested gift is for kids these year? Any?
Well, I can't share that information.
I see. It's a secret. Very nice. Yep. Yes. All right. Where did you park your sleigh, by the way? And did you pay $2 or $3 an hour to park?
Actually, Santa had a sticker.
Santa's got a sticker.
Yeah.
Like somehow you got a resident of Fort Myers Beach sticker. Very nice. Right. So how many reindeer does it actually take to pull a sleigh in Florida on the sand? Is it the same as in the snow, or is it less or more? Or?
Well, it depends on the Thanksgiving feast that Mrs. Claus and I have.
I see.
Sometimes we have to add an extra reindeer.
Yeah. Is Mrs. Claus a good cook, or does she need some lessons?
She's an excellent cook.
Yeah.
Can't you tell?
Angela, can you take pictures of me and Santa? Because you didn't take pictures of me and the chief. We had the fire chief on letting people know to be safe drivers because you'll be out delivering gifts.
I will.
To all the kids. Would you say that most kids have been good this year or naughty or in between?
I'd say the majority have been good. There's been a couple of naughty ones, but they're climbing up the good list.
Now, Santa, what do you think would happen if you showed up to the gym and started running on the treadmill in this outfit, besides sweat like crazy?
Actually, I've done that.
You have?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's you don't get much of a workout.
No, with this outfit on?
No, too many people want to take pictures.
I see. Now, how many calories a day do you have to eat to maintain your weight?
Oh, well, let's just say Michael Phelps learned from someone.
I see. I don't know what that means, but I'll Google it later. Maybe I'll get it. Oh, well, so you probably have a busy day today?
I do. a busy day today and a busy day tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, Santa Claus, thank you so much for coming and delivering that bicycle, and we'll make it happen.
Perfect.
To the recipient that it was planned for, and thank you so much, and have a great holiday.
You as well. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Big hand for Santa Claus, everybody. You don't often get Santa Claus to come down to Beach Talk Radio, but you know what? We bring out the greatest guests of all time. To have the fire chief and Santa Claus in the same show, on the same show, is something that I know that we'll ever be able to pull off again. And well, I do want you back on the show because it is a show between that the two of us co-hosts. But what we were saying before Santa Claus so rudely interrupted us was that is Santa Claus drinking a beer? That's okay if he can. Maybe he needs. It's hot in Florida compared to. If he was in the North Pole, he'd be drinking eggnog.
Juice.
Yeah. The fireworks celebration. You have to make sure that you check to make sure you know when the bridge is closing, because the bridge will be closing. Get down here early because parking will be an issue. And of course, the town puts on
park and ride.
That's right. You can park and ride, or you can ride your bike, or you can ride your Sissy Mary motorized bikes.
No, I think the park and ride thing is an excellent thing to do.
Or you can go to FMB Carts, Island Carts, and get a golf cart. The brand new business down here that's sponsoring our radio station. So that was a nice try. It didn't go off the way that we hoped. But,
tried.
sometimes things, when you're live like that, it doesn't work out.
You just got to roll with it.
What did you get your mom for Christmas?
A phone.
You got your mom a phone?
Yeah.
Like an iPhone? Or
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I can't get into it.
Why? Because she might be watching?
Yes.
I see. Anything else you want to tell our 9 listeners, our 9 fans out there?
I want to tell them to have a safe and Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And hope that they join us New Year's Eve, and I can wish them a Happy New Year then. But if they can't, Happy New Year.
Last New Year's Eve, we had the wireless microphones down here at Pete's and Margaritas, and you were interviewing people. I hope you do a little better this year, because what you don't realize is that when we're live on the air and you have the wireless mic, that you're supposed to be on the air, not you were just kind of having fun with people. You were, talking to them and communicating with them, but it wasn't really part of the show. You were just trying to make friends and stuff. So this year it's going to be like the Dick Clark's rocking, like you weren't really on the show kind of thing. So I don't know. Why don't you go check? Why don't you go check while I read the final ad? We might be able to pull this off, everybody. But before we do that, I want to tell you about the farmers market every Friday. The farmers market now through May 27th. Don't go away, anybody. I know you want to go out and do that last minute Christmas shopping. I was trying to find last minute gifts for, the wifey here. And I went down to the outlets on Estero. What is that? What's that outlet place called down there with the Nike and the Adidas and the whole, and at the same time, I'm listening. Like, I never go shopping with my headphones on, but I wanted to hear what the Kim Potter verdict was with the police officer that killed the 20-year-old with when she thought it was her taser. So I was listening to that because I heard the verdict was coming in, and I'm shopping, and there were lines outside, like Nike. What they were doing was the COVID lines again. Like, you're only allowed to have 15 people in, and so they had people separated by 6 feet. It's like, oh, here we go again. Biden's trying to kill Christmas on everybody. But anyway, I digress. The farmers market is going on at the Beach Baptist until May 27th. And they have the farmers market down there every Wednesday and Friday. And Linda does an awesome job getting everybody together. And they also have a farmers market in the Santini Plaza and Gulf Coast. Mm-hmm. But some of the things that they have at the Beach Baptist, of course, love muffins. I had the pictures of the love muffins up during the pre-show. And those things look amazing. They also have Dudley's Beachside Barbecue, water gems, hooked up fish market, squeezers, so many different things going on at the
a little bit of everything.
Farmers market at the Beach Baptist. And who knows, maybe Santa Claus might show up down there. You never know where Santa's going to show up.
Oh, he's very busy.
It took me a few years to get used to hot weather and Christmas, but I can deal with it. Like last night was 50 degrees. That's cold enough.
I will say, though, when we went out west that one winter, that one Christmas, that was great too. And there was, we got 18 inches of snow.
Yeah, we went to Utah for Christmas that one time, and we were snow blowing at your aunt's house, and it was like you could do it with a smile because in 3 days we're going to be back home in Florida. So that was cool. So that was a nice show, little quickie show here on the Christmas Eve.
Well, not really. You're still over.
I'm over by 1 minute. I have 10:01, exactly 1 minute. And so next week, we're no show tomorrow, everybody. Want you all to have a Merry Christmas, and we'll be back Friday morning from either here or somewhere, and then Friday night come to Times Square. But get here early. And remember, if you're going to be drinking on New Year's Eve, and I know a few of you out there probably might be drinking out there on New Year's Eve, call an Uber or walk home or fall down in the sand. I don't think you're going to get a ticket for that on New Year's Eve, will you?
I don't think so. I think they'll give you a little bit of leeway on that.
All right, dear. A Merry Christmas to you, and I hope you got me some nice gifts for a change this year. I'm just kidding. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday. See ya.